Hey, what's up? It's your boy Chef Soul here, and I'm looking a little scruffy, but I'm still gorgeous, you know what I mean? I am the enigma, the unicorn. I am a sweet soul singer and a beautiful shade of ghetto. Come on in, bring a friend. This is the smartest podcast in the world. I always say, if it's one person on this planet that you owe the truth to at all times, see, because you could lie to me, you could fool other people, but the one person you cannot lie to and should not lie to is that dude or that girl staring back at you in the mirror. Tell yourself the truth. Be honest with yourself. We're going to talk about a word that's been following me, man. It's just been everywhere. Like some of my favorite podcasts, I hear people talking about it. I got a homeboy that's a certified yogi and a podcaster and content creator, and he's always talking about this particular word, this particular trait, this particular thing, man. And I just can't escape it, man. It's in music and rap songs, and that word is narcissism. It's a heavy subject. We're going to try to take a brief look at it real quick. And let's go ahead and get right started, you know. Now, I know from my Greek history days, narcissus, what was the dude's name? I don't know. I think his name was Narcissus, right? No, his name was Narcissist. Who cares? He had a bunch of S's and some T's and stuff. But the point is, he's the cat that I guess looked in the reflection pool, I guess, and fell in love with his own image. I don't think they had mirrors back then, but maybe they did. But anyway, I know it's the dude. I get the gist of it. The thing about narcissism, though, is that a lot of people can have it and not really know or understand it. So, as I touched on in my last episode, I learned this a long time ago that every human being has something that makes us not normal. That's what they call personality disorders. They have a baseline of what they consider society's normal behaviors and normal thought patterns. Now, people with these narcissistic traits, they can have a very tough time at work and maintaining their love life and other relationships. It becomes so pervasive, you know, it can alienate you from people. And again, you can have it and not even really realize it. To be honest, the more I delved into this thing, man, I started uncovering things about myself that I ain't like. I was like, damn, man, like, I might be a narcissist, man. Like, you know what I mean? Um, Narcissism is a psychological term. I got my research from a couple of different sources, one of them being the Mayo Clinic, Centers for Disease Control, and a couple of other places. Narcissism is a psychological term. It is a pattern of self-centered, arrogant thinking and behaviors, a lack of empathy for others, an excessive need for admiration or validation. That's me. I can't front. I can't front. I'm just my love language. I read the little love language, or some parts of the little love language book. Shout out to my sister for letting me read that. And so I know, like, for instance, my love language is affirmation. Like for me, man, like when I do something for you, just acknowledge I did it. You ain't got to pay me back or nothing. I mean, never looking for a payback, but I ain't gonna front. I do look for admiration and validation. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's just germane to being an artist, right? Like, who, who, who's more narcissistic than rappers? You know, like they got to be the most narcissistic cats on the planet. You know what I mean? Like every song is about me. I'm the best. I'm the slickest. I got the best clothes. I got the best girls. You know what I mean? You know, who seeks more validation than an artist, you know, rapper, singer, entertainer of any type. You know what I'm saying? We all narcissists. Join the club, come on in. It's space for you. Admiration, validation, lack of empathy for others, arrogant thinking and behaviors, and self-centered. There's a spectrum that ranges from healthy self-confidence to pathological levels, which is like the actual personality disorder. um, there's a couple of types of narcissism. Check this out. So there's healthy narcissism, we just said, which is, self confidence, a healthy dose of self confidence. My elder used to say, it ain't bragging if you could do it. I may come off arrogant to some people about the things I could do, but I could do a lot of things, you know what I mean? Like, then there's grandiose or overconfidence, entitlement, the feel like you need to be dominant or exhibit dominance in every circle, whether it's your friend circle, your colleagues at work, you have to exert dominance, right? Self I wear my sunglasses because I'm a narcissist. What do you expect? Oh, seek attention. I can't even read my own writing. Yeah, you seek attention, you crave praise, and you exaggerate your achievements. Those are some more that got me. The crave praise. I don't think I exaggerate my achievements. You seek attention, crave praise. That's hard. See, because my personality disorder is histrionic personality disorder. And one of the components of it is, yeah, you seek attention. You know what I mean? It's like not even conscious to you. That's probably why I was drawn to music and performing arts, and maybe even on some level being a chef. Those are things we still exploring. We should be constantly checking and rechecking ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because we not standing still. We constantly moving. You know what I mean? So you got to constantly, update and maybe we got to download some new stuff to yourself. There's a covert or vulnerable type of narcissism. And it means that you kind of show insecurity masked by defensiveness. That's interesting. Hypersensitivity to criticism. It can't nobody tell you nothing. Mm-hmm. Appears shy or introverted. They're shy or introverted, but is usually self-absorbed internally. So that's covert or vulnerable type narcissism. Do you know anybody out there that's like that? I bet you if I think hard enough, I can name a bunch of people. Now, there's a difference between the actual disorder and just having some of the traits. One of the things I was interested in knowing is, can a person move in and out of that state of being narcissistic? You know what I'm saying? Because I can admit that sometimes, especially in a certain arena, right? Like in a certain area, like if I'm in singing mode, you know what I mean, or performing mode, then yeah, you want more narcissism to come out. You know what I mean? But in just daily interactions, you don't want that popping off like that. You know what I mean? So, and I think I'm able to do that. Or if you got these narcissistic traits, you're a narcissist. That just is what it is. If it look like a duck, walk like a duck, quack like a duck, then it must be a duck. You got it. That's for maybe you to determine for yourself. You know what I'm saying? But tell the truth. Again, we're gonna keep reiterating that point. Tell yourself the truth. Now, they got this thing called the DSM-5. The DSM-5 is a diagnostic and statistical manual of mental disorders. It's a book that mental health professionals refer to. It has the diagnosis and the characteristics, and even the treatment guidelines for any and every mental health condition. You know what I'm saying? So from the most minor and basic to the most extreme, the DSM-5. So in the DSM-5 about the disorder, it says that when the traits are pervasive and disrupt relationships or work, that's when you have the disorder, and not just traits. Like if it's messing up your love life and you can't get along with nobody at work, you know what I'm saying? And again, not all people have the actual disorder, but it really is the grandiose traits. So when we talked about the types of narcissism, it's the grandiose traits, which was overconfidence, entitlement, dominance, seeking attention, craving praise, exaggerate achievements. But it takes those to the max. Your self-importance is up. You have fantasies even of having success, beauty, or power. A belief that you're special and only other special people can actually understand you. You ever thought that about yourself? And then, of course, the lack of empathy. But here we go, arrogant or haughty behavior. I had to tell myself the truth. I've been haughty, man. I've been haughty in a couple of different areas, man. First of all, don't want to be a boss at one of my endeavors. I could be, but I don't want to be. I don't want to be responsible or a supervisor or anything. And so in that arena, I was willing to take a lesser role. Hey, just tell me what y'all need done. I don't want to take over. You know what I'm saying? But I found it hard to take instruction from, I ain't even gonna say a younger cat, just a cat that just don't know as much as me. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of it, supposed to try to self-grandize itself over me, like try to always put me in situations where he's like questioning what I'm saying. And I'm looking at this little boy like, do you know how long I've been doing this? Digress. Look, I'm starting to catch feelings of thinking about the situation. But in that situation, I did become haughty and arrogant about my cooking skills. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, son, why are you over my shoulder? I'm the cat. You just leave him alone. Let him do his thing. You know what he doing, and it's gonna be banging when it come out. You know what I'm saying? So, but it got tense. You know what I'm saying? One, because again, the boy's trying to use me to boost himself up, and I'm like, nah, that's not happening. Um, and so, but I did take a step back and tell myself the truth. Like, nah, I was being a little arrogant and a little haughty. I could have handled that a different way. You know what I mean? The causes of narcissism are very, very interesting, and I'm only going to highlight some. But childhood experiences like too much criticism or too much praise. When I was young, if you watch my first episode, my mom even agreed. When I was young, everybody told me how smart I was. All the achievements I was racking up academically made me get a little haughty. I even had to apologize to my mother, man, because I felt like at a certain point I was smarter than her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? She don't know what to do. And that's incredibly stupid because I'm gonna tell you, don't know 15-year-old. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you Doogie Howser himself. Don't know 15-year-old no more than no adult. An insecure attachment or neglect could also be the cause of narcissism. Meditate on that. An insecure attachment or neglect. I gotta ponder that a little more deeper. Cultural or societal reinforcement. Yeah, you got a bunch of yes people around you telling you how great you are. And you like, yeah, I am great. We should make orange the national color of narcissism in honor of the most narcissistic boy you ever seen in your life. Have you ever seen somebody more outwardly narcissistic than our POTUS? Man, you know what I'm saying? Don't send them boys after me. I'm not saying nothing bad. He's textbook, yo. He's textbook. Is that wrong to say that? Can I get in trouble for that? I thought this was a free country. Man, fuck him. How about genetic or neurological factors? And when they say neurological factors, it's basically the connection of the brain and the activities we do, or the synapses or the activities of the brain, and then how that manifests into behaviors that, stuff to look at in between there that leads that to that, so that's what that is. Yeah, you may be in a relationship right now with somebody who's a narcissist. It's all about them. They ain't able to love you the way that you need to be loved because it's all about them. Looking back on some of my relationships, I'm wondering if that was a factor because I have a big personality. I'm loud. I could wear on people. I could wear on you. You know what I'm saying? If you gotta live with me, I could get on your nerves. I could wear on you. So you got to decide for yourself, if you're narcissistic. Um, Usually the treatment for narcissistic personality disorder is basically psychotherapy or talk therapy. They try to get you to put a lot of things out so that you can see it in front of yourself. Might start a little book club, man. Yeah, but that's Broke Mom, Heal Mom. That's what the cover looked like. There's another book. I was getting ready to get to. It's called The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. These is four agreements that you make with yourself in order to keep yourself happy, balanced, and progressing in life, right? Number two is don't take things personally. And in that sense, I really think it's speaking a little bit to narcissists who have a tendency to put themselves in somebody's story. Somebody tell you, they going through something, and all you want to do is keep referencing, you know, what happened to you. You know what I mean? That was similar, or what happened to you that was, in some ways it relates to what the person is talking about. I didn't just dig up my nose too. I promise you. I had a little itch. So don't get all excited. I'll put it on you anyway. Yeah. But don't take things personally. Other people have a story going on too. You're not just the only person living this experience. There are other people living a life experience. You know what I mean? And I think, if I could rephrase that, you don't be a narcissist. It'll be all the daggone time. Like, sometimes just stop being narcissistic. Try to catch yourself. You know what I mean? Pull yourself out of those traits. With that, we're gonna go into the interview with my man Ivory J Hunter, and we'll come back.
It's your boy in the place to be, Chef Soul, and welcome to the smartest podcast in the world. Now, I told y'all every week we're going to have on people with an expertise in a particular thing that pertains to health and wellness, or people that I know who have lived, experienced, because to me, being smart is more than just gathering a bunch of information. To me, that don't make you smart. That makes you a fucking library. You know what I mean? If you don't know how to put that information into effect for yourself, then you just sitting on a bunch of information, right? So my guest is my man, Ivory Joe Hunter. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Matter of fact, go ahead, G.
All right, what's up, man? First of all, I'm grateful that you hit me up to be on the podcast. I'm so proud of you, man. I got to give you your flowers, man. We go way back and we live far apart, but I still watch your journey, man, and stay in touch occasionally. And I'm just so proud of who you are, not what you do. The who you are is the most important thing, man. And I really love you, brother. And I wish you nothing but success on your podcast and reaching people, because that's what it's about, man, making a difference. And yeah, man, my name is Ivory. We come from the same cloth. Everybody back home calls me Sabu, man. I've been out in Cali.
That's right.
Still be going after my why. My why is to come out here and make it, to break cycles mentally, physically, financially. And, so I'm in California, man. I came out here initially, I played basketball and I got a scholarship to San Jose State. And my big thing was I'm going to make it to the pros and do this and do that. But you know what? God had different plans, man, different plans. And so, I'm an author. I had a podcast. I'm about to start another podcast. The biggest thing I'm grateful for is being a single dad, just being a father, being a parent, not necessarily the single part, but I'm a parent. And, and that's the number one accomplishment for me, man, just to be
You're a girl
parent,
dad,
so,
right? You're a girl dad, right?
3 girls, man. Yeah, Mariah 21, my heart, Sienna 15, and Olivia 9, man. So again, I'm just there's a lot of things I do. I'm a creative. I got a TV show right now that's being shopped with some big people attached to it. So there's a lot of things that I'm working on, man. But the most important thing is just staying aligned, man. Staying aligned.
Yeah. I got to tell the folks out there, every hood, every neighborhood, anywhere in the world, always got one cat that all the other cats, young cats too, is looking up at like, damn, that brother right there, that's the man right there, yo. Have all the ladies, have a butter jump shot, you know what I'm saying? Like, sad man, I love you. And then me and you share a friend in Tavi, who of course is, from my singing group, known Tav since 30 plus years, but you and Tav was rolling, and then I met y'all through my cousin Laquita. So one, I want to give love to Laquita. She's not here with us. I remember those days. You got a book out right now, and I did order it, but it didn't come to my house. I did something stupid. I didn't get a chance to roll through it. I did read the Amazon reviews though, and a couple of other reviews about it. So I know what it's about. Please break us down because it's an interesting subject.
Oh, wow, man. Thank you for asking, and thank you for the flowers, man. I'm just overwhelmed, first of all, with gratitude, man, because Yesterday, I went on Amazon, and this book is number one on Amazon for single parents. Broke mom, healed mom, and and
Wow.
that yeah, man,
Wow. Muscle
I got
emojis.
chill. I
Muscle
got chills just saying
emojis.
that, man. Man, I just got chills, man. I'm just so grateful because, to get to the number one spot on Amazon, when you deal with publishers and agents, and I'm self-published, but when you deal with publishers and agents, they'll give you the strategies, they give you the steps. But man, when you are aligned with God and God has something for you, man, forget all those steps. God just pushed broke mom, heal mom right to number one. I didn't have to do all those
Praise.
steps. The only strategy was alignment, belief, and faith. Just like knowing that this was my time. There's
Yes.
going to be a lot of people in life that tell you if you're a creative person. I want to share this because this is so important, man. If you're a creative person and you have all these ideas, you're like, man, I don't know which one I want to do. I'm going to say, I'm going to go against the grain because people are going to tell you, man, you just got to focus on one thing. Sister, you got to focus on one thing. And you know what? There's some truth to that. But
Mm-hmm.
I go against the grain.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that one thing you got to focus on is your alignment, your relationship with God, your daily alignment to make sure you're ready to receive everything that you're putting out there. So I
Right.
have different projects out there, and I don't buy into that focus on one thing. My focus is on my alignment, waking up every day with gratitude, waking up every day with the right mindset, with the growth mindset, aligning
Mm.
myself with God. It's a growth
Mm.
mindset. And I try to tell people, man, it's not about what you know. It's about what you practice. Because there's a lot of people, like you said, smart people. I loved how you started off there. It's like libraries. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care what you know. If you're not doing the daily work of practicing, I had to deal with, and I'm a single father, like we talked about earlier, three daughters. And, and again, back to that growth mindset. I have that mindset, things don't happen to us, they happen for us. And when you come from that perspective, you get yourself out of the victim role and you can start seeing what you're supposed to get from that experience. And
Mm.
speaking of experiences, one of my favorite quotes that really freed me to go back with the dogma, that freed me with life and gave me so much peace. And I don't worry about dying or people dying because I don't believe in death. I believe in transition. We just transition. One of the best
Right.
quotes that I've heard that changed my life is we're not human beings having spiritual experiences. We're spiritual eternal
Spirits.
beings having temporary human experiences. So I'm
Yes.
all about the experience. How can I grow? And so when
Right.
I'm dealing with narcissism from so many different people, and I'm getting triggered by it and I'm emotionally reacting, I'm like, I have to study this. I gotta understand this. And in doing that, I realized some of my own narcissistic tendencies. And the difference between
Mm.
somebody who's a narcissist and somebody who's NPD, which is narcissistic personality disorder, is the awareness. Like I might have these tendencies, but I'm not totally all the way gone where I don't understand that, how I can affect other people if I'm not conscious. If you tell a narcissist that they're narcissists, they're gonna say, "No, I'm not." You have a question?
Hmm.
Go ahead, because I'm here with it. Go ahead. You want to ask
Yeah,
me a
yeah.
question?
That's amazing that you brought that up because I have a personality disorder too, but I'm gonna talk about it later. Break me down narcissist personality disorder from your understanding, if you would.
Okay, and again, I want to clarify by saying I'm a student. I'm not an expert. I'm studying this. Narcissistic personality is somebody who is gonna, or they're gonna gaslight you. They don't care about nothing that you have to say. If you're talking to them, you're talking to them. They're texting while you're talking, and when they're talking, they want everybody to hear. They have this grandiose this personality, and they want to, everything's about them. It turns back to them. If you talk to them about your problems, it's going to find out their problems is going to be even bigger. They just always need the attention, and they
Mm.
always want to gaslight you. And then when you get frustrated, they want to suck you back in, which is called hoovering, and they want to bring you back in just to gaslight you again. It's just, and the more I study narcissism, man, it's so painful, man, that when people have to experience that, man, because they break people, that you question yourself. Am I the narcissist? Am I wrong? Am I tripping? And people are in so many narcissistic relationships, whether it's through their parents, through their friends, through relationships, through work. So narcissism for me is, again, something that I'm aware of, so I'm not triggered when I see it. It's not personalized. When you deal with a narcissist, you're not supposed to personalize. You're not supposed to react. You're not supposed to engage. All these things because
Hmm.
narcissists need supplies. They want to hear, oh, talk about
Right.
me more. Talk about me more. Talk about
Right.
me more. And they never want to take ownership, And again, I think a lot of people have traces of that. So when I wrote this book, Broke Mom, Heal Mom, it it derives from a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad from Robert Kiyosaki, and it was a book that gives you, you probably know it because you got that mindset, but just for the
Yes.
viewer, your viewers, it's a great book to teach you about finances, about money, and about perspective, about
Right.
this young man that was raised by his dad and his stepdad, and one was rich, one was poor, but
Right.
having that to play off of, it really gave him a clear perspective on how he was going to flow in life. And me being the broke mom and the healed mom, I wanted to give people a different perspective. So I wrote this book, and it's about these two children that, you know, they have this mom who's a narcissistic alcoholic, and she gets a divorce with their dad, and he marries this an incredible woman who's a therapist, and it shows the dynamics of going back and forth. And my goal with this
Mm.
book was for you to see yourself as either the broke mom, the healed mom, or the child that is experiencing this narcissistic abuse. So
Mm.
readers can really look at themselves and say, you know what, I see myself. I don't want to be that person, and I want to heal it. And and so I want to do the work. And so that's what this book's about. And being the fact that I'm in the industry and I write, I write scripts, and I'm shopping TV shows. And I don't like to read, to be honest with you. If I read, it's always to learn. So when I wrote this book, I wanted to write it in a way that it was simple for people to read. I wrote it in like almost like it's like a hybrid between a novel and a script. So
Okay.
it's when you open it up and you look at it. When you look at it, it's not overwhelming. Like I got to read all that. I got to read all that. No, it's written in a way that you
Ooh.
want to stay engaged to it, man. So the book is amazing, man. I'm so grateful. This is just the beginning, man. But again, nothing but gratitude because this book was therapeutic in writing it, and everything that I want to get out of it, God is already doing, man. So thank you for having me on to be able to talk about this book and this platform. Number one, man. Number one on Amazon for single parents, man. That is such a
Give it
blessing.
up, baby.
Such a
Give it
blessing.
up. Number one,
Yeah,
like them
man.
birds right there. Boy, number one.
Yeah. Yeah,
Number
the Eagles. Let's
one.
go. Fly, fly, fly.
Do you agree or do you think that it's possible that maybe somebody might not be fully narcissistic, but may move in and out of like a narcissistic state? You dig what I'm saying? Like, do you think it's
Yes,
people
absolutely.
like when you have the disorder, maybe, are you fully in it? Or is it possible that sometimes you're not in that state and then sometimes you're going in and out of it?
Well, I think when it's a disorder, there's no
Mm-hmm.
awareness of it. There's no
Okay.
awareness. So I feel like you're forever. You're not forever. You're constantly in that state because you don't see yourself that way. So you're not. You can't take criticism. You can't take any type of thing. You can't even criticize a narcissist and call them a narcissist because they will
Mm.
turn that around on you. So when you're in that place, I don't feel like there's unless you really are open and you go get some therapy. But I feel like we all have elements of it. For me, I'm growing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to be like a people pleaser. There's so many things but as we grow, and as we grow, we start to let go of these false truths that we've been carrying all of our lives from the imprints. And for me, I know I have traces. I'm around a bunch of people, like successful people who have narcissistic tendencies. I love them, but they actually care about my life, about other people's life. They just love talking about themselves, and they're pumped and they're passionate. So it's
Yeah.
okay to have that type of narcissism, because I feel like that's a healthy, just a self love type of thing. But
Right,
a but
right.
a narcissistic personality disorder, that's not self love. That's just like something
They
different,
gone.
some different stuff. They're
Because
gone. They're
the
gone, and they're
re-
just doing damage.
the reason why I had asked is because it became evident to me during my spiritual breakdown and journey over the last year that I am myself narcissistic, and I didn't realize it. But in the '90s, I was diagnosed with what's called histrionic personality disorder, and it has a lot of elements of what you said. It's like a need to be the life of the party, right? It's like a need to have the focus and the attention. Usually born from feeling like you're not important or not special or you don't get attention. That's
Not
usually where
enough.
it's born
Not
from.
enough.
Right. I'm thinking of a Jay-Z song where he be like, what am I after? Love. I don't get enough of it. All I get is these vampires and bloodsuckers. You know what I'm saying? Not to quote it, but that came to mind, right? So I learned myself, and it was like a light bulb going off. But I do believe that like I can catch myself being narcissistic now. I think before I go all the way fully into it, I've been able to I think get better at catching myself and being like, it's not about me. Don't make a scene. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been very histrionic in the past. I have some spectacular interactions with people, bro. But yeah,
Yeah,
man, it's heavy.
because when people have narcissistic tendencies or full blown narcissists is because we have fragile egos and it's from not feeling
Mm.
enough. And for me, I've always had that fragile, even though we don't come across, we hide it well, but there's a fragile ego because you don't feel like you're not enough, so you want to make sure everybody sees what you're doing and hear you and see you because of that fragile ego. But the more we start having true self love, like not just like superficial, I'm this, I'm that. No, like knowing who we really are, knowing that we came in for the experience, knowing the power and the impact that we have, that we could have. We really let go of that needing to be seen, needing to be heard, because you get comfortable with who you are, needing to prove something. Like my ego is less fragile. The more we do the work, we can remove those things. But it all comes down again, doing the work.
I wanted to end there in case you wanted to say something else. I'm gonna have all the links attached to the video and everything for people to be able to go straight to Amazon, go to your Instagram, all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you so much, bro, for thinking about me. And I'm proud of you. And I know this is just the beginning of this part of your journey because you're passionate, you're open, you recognize your own opportunities to grow. I'm not going to call them weaknesses, but your own
Hmm.
opportunities to grow. Keep that mindset. Keep on inspiring people, man, and don't stop. Don't stop,
Yep.
brother. And for your listeners, it's never too late. You are not a victim. Create your story. I mean, and you got to wake up every day with gratitude. And don't be so arrogant that you think you know everything. It's about doing the work. I'm not the most religious person, but people who go to church on Sunday and feel like that's gonna be it, that's all they're gonna need, you're missing it. It's not just on Sunday.
Hmm.
It's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You don't have to go anywhere to get that connection. And if you get that connection first, you put your alignment first, then guess what? You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be
Yep.
fine.
Absolutely. Once again, my brother Ivory Joe Hunter. Y'all check him out, buy that book, and I'ma holla at you, bro.
All right, man. I appreciate you, bro. Nothing but love, man. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. Love you,
You
little
got it,
bro.
baby.
All
Bluesdale
right, peace.
forever, baby.
Bloomsdale to Dale. Let's
The
go.
down.
Bristol Terrace, you know what I'm saying? Bucks County.
Bristol
We in the
Terrace,
building.
you know what I'm saying?
We in the
Yep,
building.
all of them.
Winter Village, we in the building. Green Lane,
That's
we in
right.
the building. Let's go. Let's
Hey,
go.
man.
That's another thing. Speaking of that, I love that what you're doing. I'm a vegetarian, so I love your cooking. I can't wait to get back and taste your food. And then another thing you
Yeah.
mentioned, Cliff and Foul. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm a vegetarian for 11 years. But anyway,
Yeah.
man, nothing but love, man. Have a beautiful day, fam.
God bless you, my brother. Yeah.
God bless you too. Peace.
Yo, that was awesome, man. My man Sabu. You know what I mean? I call him Ivory Hunter because that's his name his mama gave him, but we all know him as Sabu, man. That's my dude, man. Hey, we thank y'all for catching this episode of the smartest podcast in the world. I'm back at y'all next week, and we're gonna pop the lid on a real sensitive subject, and that is marijuana. We're gonna talk about some things about marijuana. We're gonna have us a conversation, you know what I'm saying? But thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? It only take a second. Your boy Chef Soul. We about to bounce out of here. Catch us on Spotify and YouTube. Much love to you, and see you next time.